Leave Draymond Green alone.
Leave him alone, punks. You softies.
Amen.
Today I'm sitting down with Dana with the Data, co-host with the legendary Judge Joe Brown, to talk politics, black stereotypes in media and sports, censorship, and a little bit of everything. Man, we get it in.
It is my business. You call him
inherently in like who you are.
He's as critical, but he was able to walk and move in this video.
And sometimes we misinterpret with one another.
I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson.
Look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man.
Dana's Data meets my street sense. Together, expect unfiltered reality checks, backed up by receipts. Members are already watching the full-length 2-hour video. If you want in, go to join timblack.com. Otherwise, just kick back, hit the like button. Here comes 120 minutes of straight talk you won't hear on cable news. Let's roll.
On deck with Tim Black.
All right, so Jasmine Crockett made the news because she was talking something about white supremacy, and I want to definitely get your take on this, Dana. Let's listen to a clip, and we'll be on the other side. Check it out.
It's the Democrats and it's the liberals, and it's like actually they try to act like, oh, political violence, it's the Democrats and it's the liberals, and it's like actually. I mean, I'm not gonna say that like a left-leaning person cannot be violent, because that would be like crazy to say that somebody can't be. But baby, y'all got the white supremacists galore, okay? Like all of them. You got the Proud Boys, you got the neo-Nazis. You have people that literally should be classified as domestic terrorists, because a lot of times that is what they are doing. They're engaging in domestic terrorism. And guess what? They all align with your side.
Yeah.
Including the KKK. So like, I mean, this is who aligns with that. So like inherently in like who you are, y'all are violent. Like y'all, and most of your violence has to do with people that's got a little bit of melanin. But nevertheless, like y'all are a violent group of people. Like you attract violent actors, and like, I'm sorry, I know they tried to make Black Lives Matter out to be the most violent. What about Black Lives Matter? No. So that's the thing. Like they try to pretend like that.
Wow.
What
So
podcast is that? It's called Betches.
I didn't even see that till now. I haven't watched. In fact, I hadn't even watched the whole clip because I try to keep it like spontaneous. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that kind of caught me off guard too. Wow, what was that about?
Right. I don't know why Democrats act like. Well, yeah, I don't know why they act like they're the party of peace and diversity and equity for everybody, and you're not. The KKK came from the Democrat Party, and they're still there. All the races, the history of that, they're still there. A lot of liberals are racist. A lot of these people, when you talk about Proud Boys or if you talk about neo-Nazis, a lot of them are registered Democrats. So it's not a party, and which is kind of messed up, because now you're saying, okay, if you identify as a white supremacist or a Nazi sympathizer or a Proud Boy, then you're automatically a Republican. Like that's just stupid. And they, they are trying to label, okay, Republican means MAGA, and technically it doesn't. And right. I think MAGA eventually is going to have their own political party or movement.
Wow, I hadn't considered that. Yeah, you got a good point there about the separation between MAGA and Republicans. And I tell people all the time, man, they didn't want Trump, not the establishment Republicans. They was like they was throwing everything at that dude. It's just that he had the momentum, man. He was talking what people wanted to hear, and he developed a fan base. He started the strongest political movement that we've seen in the last 50 years. So
right.
He won his primary 3 times. But back to what she said, Dana, look, I agree with you that they ain't cornered the market on racism. No party has. Mm-hmm. I don't care what party you go to. You can go to the Green Party, found racist. I know, because I've been over there too. I've been, I used to have another life, right, when I was with them progressives. So yeah, I experienced it all. But I want to admit this though. She's not wrong when she says there's some good old boys over there that may vote Republican, but I think it's because of certain policies like guns. Like it's not because they necessarily like Republicans, because they're fried Republicans too.
Right. I mean, listen, a racist is a racist, no matter what party affiliation. And that's what I'm saying. Like a person politics are their politics. And I didn't think of that a lot of those people who she's describing, they may vote a Republican because of the policies, i.e. gun rights, the Second Amendment, which is very important. And the first, when you talk about freedom of speech, freedom to assembly, freedom of press, the protecting our U.S. Constitution.
Tax breaks.
Yes. But, that's the wealthy, but that's on both sides. That's not even, because people always say, oh, Republicans is majority. Well, no, it's those, they have money. Democrats, listen, I think if me and you were like a Roland Martin type of channel, we will probably be at 500,000 to 1 million already. You know what I'm saying? Like if we were talking pro Democrat, pro Jasmine, pro AOC, we would be already at 500,000 to 1 million easy. They spend money. They are wealthy. Now, people are upset that the Trump administration, a lot of his department heads, they're wealthy, but so what? They are not lifelong politicians as opposed to the Democrats. So how can you be a politician and you're worth more than some of the people in Trump's cabinet, and you've been a lifelong politician? But either way, going back to her, Jasmine Crockett is a joke. And that's why I appreciate that Trump says she has a low IQ, because she is pro trans and women's sports. She is pro illegals. She is pro immigration, but she uses Black American, as her talking point, as a narrative. And she has done nothing or even initiated anything specifically for Black Americans. But she always want to be on this, you're racist and you treat Black people wrong or whatever. So she is a joke, and I think she does have a low IQ.
See, I don't think she got a low IQ. I think she got low ethics. Like, how can I say this? I think she's smart. She knows what she's doing. Like she thinks she's getting over by playing this role like she is like she's Glorilla, or like she is, some young Black woman who pretty much ain't figured it out, just came straight out the hood so far, and it's coming from like that type of environment. So she's talking the vernacular of somebody who's maybe a little street. But if you do a little digging behind the surface, you'll see she highly educated, went to I think it was Rochester, or not Rochester. That's where the white lady.
And then she went to a school in Texas. She went to law school.
Yeah, went to law school. Right. Rutgers.
She didn't go to Jasmine?
I think she did.
I don't think so.
Well, it was a notable university. She went to private school.
Private school growing up. She's a PK kid, preacher's kid. She has a law degree, but that doesn't make you smart. That if you allow yourself to be bought to push a narrative, whether you believe in it or not, you don't have your own opinions. You are a puppet. You have a low IQ. If you could be controlled, you have a low IQ, period. That's how I look at it. So, okay, you went to college, you have a law degree, but then you admitted that you told your first job at a law firm, you said, hire me because I'm Black, because you admit to being a DEI hire. So you didn't even get hired on merit. So again, you have a law degree, you pass all those LSATs, whatever. That doesn't mean you are an intellect.
Well, that's different. I ain't gonna say she an intellect. I just say I think Trump called a low IQ because that's his go-to. I think that's what he likes to roast people.
She's always talking nonsense. And
but it works. It works with them people. Like you just said, the Roland Martin. Look, Roland done 50 videos on this woman. He get paid off Jasmine Crockett. I made 10, 15 videos off of her. She is a content machine. This insert dumb thing talking point, and she'll just go. She don't think about what she's gonna say. She just said it. But them people eat it up. She came out of nowhere, Dana. Like,
and she only been in office, I think, 2 years. But and that was a seat that the woman, I forgot the black woman that had it, but she died or she retired, and then she slid in there. But listen, look at who's backing her. Silicon Valley, APAC. So her war chest is heavy. But again, you have to go out there and push the George Soros talking points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't have respect for people who
hell no.
who are a puppet, and that's majority of Congress, Republican and Democrat, doesn't matter. But we're just focusing on her. Listen, she makes up lies, intentionally. When she was on, I think it was MSNBC, and she was saying something about all the illegals, they're not criminals, they're not breaking the law, something to that effect. And
saying to come over across the border isn't a crime, is what she said.
Right. Yeah, and it's like, are you kidding me? So
it's not a felony. It can get you deported, get you put out the country. You do it twice, then it's a felony. You do it twice, then it's a felony. But it's a citation. It's against the law. Right.
So, and then a lot of these people committed heinous crimes when they were over here. So again, and then too, I'm very suspicious of any politician they're going so hard for these illegals and not Americans. You don't have my respect. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. No, I don't respect her at all. I just want people to know, when I say she is not low IQ, she's dangerous, right? She's plotting. I think she's strategic. I think she knows how to make black women, a majority of black women, relate to her and feel comfortable with her. That's all strategic. Like, she could come out, "Hi, how are you?" and be all proper, but she knows the demographic she want to talk to. She's like, "No, I need to conduct myself this way," and she knows that's what the Democrats want from her. Like, they happy with her being out here making noise, being a sideshow, being a minstrel character. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I hate it. Don't get me wrong. I detest it. I think it's disgusting. But I don't want anybody to think she don't know what she's doing. Like, she's not dumb. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, huh? What's wrong with me?
Okay, but dude, I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I don't think she knows what she knows that she is being very dramatic and she's taking orders. She knows how to take orders. But does she know how to be a stateswoman? Being a statesman and a politician are two different things. You don't have to, I guess, worry too much about her district, because they're, I think, like upper middle class and higher. But again, what have you put on the table? Because she wants to run for a House committee, a leader in one of these House committees. So what have you put on the table specifically for Black Americans? And then also, what have you put on the table for all Americans? Because it's very specific with her. It's the LGBTQ, it's the immigrants, and that's it.
Someone was telling me her district in Texas is it's not majority Black. So that's part of it. Like, she got a lot of Latinos in her district. So yeah, I mean, I think it was Tezlyn Figaro. She did a segment. She was on the Breakfast Club and she was talking about, and I was like, Tez, don't be defending her. Like, no, I don't want to hear this, because she leans into Blackness too much to be somebody who doesn't advocate for Black people.
Right. That's a perfect word. Lean into. And that's, you lean into it, and I hear she be like, baby, like, you are a congresswoman. Why are you talking like that?
But why is it working? You know what I'm saying? Why is this working with look, Dana, I'm telling you, I get DMs, I get comments. Why are you picking on this sister? She a good sister. She fighting the fight. What are you doing? Well, I'm exposing corruption.
You a lot of content on her. Is it because I was doing content. Then I noticed like the viewership was going down. I was like, well, man, we need to stop doing content on her.
Exactly. I was gonna say that when you brought it up. Yeah.
Because I haven't gotten the DMs like, why are you bothering her? I do want those DMs.
Well, maybe because I'm a brother, you know what I'm saying? They're like, here go the brothers beating up on the sister. I'm like, dog, y'all don't know. I've given Cory Booker. I had hi, I'm Cory Booker. Like, I did him. We need to just get along. Where's the love? I roasted his ass for like 3 years straight. But they don't know that. They just see me getting at Jasmine Crockett. They think that's all I do. No, I don't like Clyburn. I go after Al Sharpton. If you're a Jasmine Crockett fan, the algorithm know that, and that's what's going to send you.
Me and the judge called what he coined the term chicken head. Chicken head George. He calls him chicken head George or chicken George. Yeah, he called him chicken George. But he called him bobblehead, and he also called him chicken George. Wow, Sharpton.
I hope he got a term for Clyburn, because Clyburn horrible. Jim Clyburn, that brother.
We don't talk about him too much.
Really? That's Biden's guy.
I'm gonna bring him up and see if he come up with a name for him. But it's like he's about to retire, Clyburn, right?
Steven from Django. I don't know,
the
man.
Worst district in South Carolina.
The worst district. That Bama worked with. Now, see, this guy worked with Republicans to gerrymander the district, so he'd be the only Negro in South Carolina, right, as a representative.
And I think he wants his daughter to take over his seat as well. But it's like he brings no investment to his district. The poorest, the worst, the uneducated district in South Carolina. But these people keep voting him in.
That's what I'm saying about Jasmine. So is he diabolical, sinister, scumbag, horrible person, no ethics, but smart in the way that they move for what they're trying to do. Like, you could be a person dealing death to our people. It don't make you dumb. It can make you like a killer, but you could be smart. You could have a mind that knows how to flip, how to maneuver in the streets. But that don't make you a good person. You could be the worst thing for our community. You know what I'm saying? And
how smart are they? Because that's the Democrats' playbook. So it's a playbook that they didn't create. Jasmine Crockett didn't create no playbook.
Right.
So are they really smart? I think this playbook for me has been created since 1964 when the Civil Rights Act was passed. Then 65 when the Voters' Rights Act was passed. So they don't create nothing. That's when they don't create anything. And to be in that prestigious position in Congress, yes, you are you control the purse of the nation and stuff like that, passing laws. Right. And to not take the initiative to put something real tangible on the table for all Americans. How can you be smart? I don't know. It's easy to take orders. It's easy when you have a blueprint and you're just following the blueprint instructions.
Yeah. I feel you, man. You know what? I get what you're saying, and I think that I just think the word low IQ is just whenever I hear. I'm gonna be honest.
Disrespectful to a black woman.
Yeah, well, not this. There's some dumb motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't strike me that she is that dumb. I mean, she put together that video because Kendrick was trending. It looks stupid.
She didn't put that together. That was some young intern in her office. The only thing she did was walk, and they did the editing and honey, I'm sorry. That was tired. Like,
but it worked. It went viral. Look, Trump is saying her name on
he finally did say her name because he never said her name before. Yeah. And that's what she wants. She's doing stunts for attention. Good, you go viral whether people like you or dislike you. So I mean, she's working the media.
You go.
Media, playing a race card.
Was she smart, Dana?
No.
You just said she work in the media. You know how many people wish they could work the media like Jasmine Crockett? And all of them.
A machine behind her. Okay, you'll be smart if you know how to work the media and you don't have a machine behind you. See, I'm not. Okay, so you think she's smart. I'm still sticking to my guns. She's not smart.
Look, y'all let us know in the comment section who's right. Is Dana right? If Dana's right, give me a 1 for yes. If no, give her a 0. There you go. And I want to know too. I want to know. No hate, just because I think she's smart, evil, like the the evil guy from the. Yeah.
She may be a little clever, a little bit, but
so now you hedging. That's close. That's close to smart.
She ain't smart. She's low IQ. What Trump say? Low IQ.
Low IQ. Mm-hmm. Well, look, y'all. We gonna move on to the next topic because we got a lot of these, and Dana got stuff to do with Saturday. Look, did you hear about what? Well, shit. Let me run the commercial. Draymond Green. Did you hear about him?
I heard about him. Leave Draymond alone, honey. He's doing his job.
Perfect. Here we go, guys.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
All right, so I'm back with my special guest, the one and only Dana with the data, and I want to talk and get her opinion of Draymond Green's little clip. It's very short, but man, is it causing a ruckus on the internet, y'all. Check out Draymond Green talking about black men.
Angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Hold on. Let me run him back again. My bad. Here we go. One more time.
I look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
All right, Miss Data, what do you think? Is he now? You know why they say he's angry, because he's gotten into a couple scuffles, had some issues on the court with a couple people. I think I saw him step on somebody's chest who was laying down and something, and he didn't. I think he stole somebody or swung at somebody. So what do you think about the characterization that he's an angry black man?
I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair because we have a lot of bougie princesses in the NBA nowadays. They are so spoiled. Take us back to the Michael Jordan days. Take us back to what was the heyday, the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Now, I was a kid, I wasn't even born then. However, those guys were brawling. The Detroit Pistons, when Isaiah Washington was there, that was like, you would think they came out the project. So first of all, he's very aggressive, as he should be. And that doesn't make him an angry black man, because when you look at his personal life, he's not dumb. He hasn't had any ridiculous scandals, i.e., he didn't pull a Shannon Sharp. He wasn't Shannon Sharp. He never had any type of accusations. I believe he's married.
Come on, Skip. Now, Dana, come on, Dana. Come on now, Dana. You know better.
He's married. I think he's married to a black woman.
Yes,
love his mom, have his kid. He's a husband. So what? He's angry because he's going against his opponent and he's strong arming them. You should. You want to intimidate them so they could get off their game. Leave Draymond alone. And honestly, he's good at what he does, and he brings the entertainment, not in a bad way, to the games. Like, Judge Joe Brown, he said he doesn't like football anymore because it got so weak. Like, it's a lot of things that they don't do like they used to do. I think Draymond is just a reminder of how you should play the sports, right? And they don't like that. So yeah, leave him alone.
I got to agree with you about the Pistons, man. The bad boys, that's what we called them when I was coming up. The bad boys. Them boys would beat you up. They would rough you up. Down in that hole, under that basket. If you come in there soft, you leaving out. You're going to be on the deck. Yes. And I respected that game. That was the way I grew up. That's how I saw it. We played murder ball. We threw the ball back. Nobody wear no pads. That's just us playing as kids. That's how we grew up. And look, on my show, I said, it is disrespectful, man, that people they attribute a certain type of attitude to being angry or being black. Like, black is whatever black is. Whatever you are, is you being you. My example is Chris Rock and Will Smith. They both.
How you get an example from NBA to that?
Well, because let me explain. Because they both black men, I think we can agree that they are black and that they both acted in totally contrasting ways. But they both black men. One man, He got ticked off. He acted. He said, "Bow!" Slapped the hell out of him. That was a black man. He got emotional. He got pissed off. He was not taking it no more. He was fed up. He lashed out. The other black man chose to remain calm. He composed himself. He said, "I'm not going to strike back." Those are both black men. Both can exist. They're neither less black than they were before that day. They are still black men. So whether you agree with or disagree with them, I think that we, just like all other groups, should be able to be however we want to be and still be black men. They call us angry. That's just a throwback to them stereotypes because they want to make people afraid of us.
But why is that? Because you see black, white NBA players have done it, if not worse, and continue to do it. So we've seen the same type of aggressive plays and attitude on the court that he brings, to the game. We've seen it from white players. So why is it that when a black man does it, or do anything, oh, he's angry? I don't understand that. And so when people do that, when people make a headline emphasizing or talking about such that, like his character, and you don't do it for anybody else, automatically you are showing your biasism, your bigotry. That's how I'm taking it, because you cannot label a black man for being angry. He's doing his job and he's good at it. So they just have to find something negative.
Yeah, it's
and
he's just tough.
Winning, right?
Yeah, man. Go to say Warriors. He's 35 years old. He been in the league a number of years. He an OG in the league. A lot of players don't last that long in it. He's still here. His name rings out. He's making his paper.
They playing tonight. They playing the Timberwolves. Yeah,
he's so like you said, the brother's clean off the court. Like, what are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I don't
not alone.
But I will say this. I'll push back a little bit, and I'll say he know what he be doing on the court. Let's not get it twisted.
I like yes. I like
it's intentional. Yes. So he's complaining, like he said, "Don't call me angry." When you play with fire, you.
That's two different things though, because he's big, and he gonna get off me and be extra with, but he know when he move his arm, I'm a little bit stronger than this dude, so he gonna really, be pushed. So what? Because you want to scare that player. I don't understand. Like, who? I'm not good at the names. I'm not a basketball expert, but it had to be another player who was worse on the court.
Shaq. Couldn't nobody do nothing with Shaq. He just.
Right, I was going to say Shaq.
Bullied everybody. He just, and everybody.
Exactly. So Shaq was never labeled angry. So so and wasn't it other people before Shaq?
Yeah, Moses Malone. There was a brother from the Knicks, man, Anthony Mason. He's like he goes down in history like. Yeah, he was like somebody that you'd be like, he'd meet you out to the game. Like, what's up? Like,
right.
Angry on a whole nother level, like beat your ass angry. So
let me throw that in there, because when I say you don't never hear Draymond Green getting to it, I never heard of him getting to anything off the court. Remember when Gilbert Arenas and that locker room brawl? You never hear that about Draymond. Like, so why?
Well, I hope not. He brought a gun to the locker room.
Well, I'm just saying something, whether it's that or just something, dramatic. And do you hear the other teammates complaining about Draymond? No.
Well, you know what? Maybe Draymond's worried about his paper. Like, maybe he wants some endorsements. And if you make his name seem like he's such a bad guy, maybe it's hard for him to get his paper. Because I'm trying to figure out, why would he give a damn? When people call him mean or that he's angry, they probably just scared of the dude. Good. Be scared. We're going to go get the ring. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be intimidated. But I'm looking at the other side, Dana. Maybe it's like hurting him on the endorsement side of the game, because maybe them folks don't want to mess with him because they're like, hey, man, this guy might not be good for our image.
It is about business. At the end of the day, it's about business, but I didn't think of that. That's a good point. I definitely think it could be that. And also, I think that, he has a little bit of because my shirt, I got a little Black Panther shirt. He got a little bit of this. I think he had a little bit of that energy in him. He probably is just one of those conscious Black men at that. So yes, this messing with my potential future paper. And because he may be retiring in a few years.
That's
You
true.
still want to be making money, maybe what do you call those sports commentators? And then too, he's a conscious man who is Black, and he knows how society operates, the history, and how society look at Black men. And maybe he feels as though, look, I do all these positive things and no one wants to highlight that.
Well, you know what? He needs to go ahead and get the right team around him and start leaning into the positive stuff. Like, start doing some PR stuff, you know what I'm saying? And make people cover it. Like, cover me here.
Yeah, counter what the media, the negative press is doing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's all you can do, man. But saying, I'm not mad, I'm not angry. What's wrong with y'all? That's not gonna make people.
What if you start a campaign and having like a whole bunch of young boys of all backgrounds, like just be aggressive in their sport, and just have that aggressive man. And it's not that you should be aggressive. You should be, even with Serena Williams playing tennis, when she gets into it, she's aggressive on the court. And remember that I think it was a French newspaper. They drew a picture of her as a big, bloated, muscular man, like, having a tantrum or something like that.
Right.
Because she's aggressive on the court, that makes her great. So, yeah.
They didn't know what to do with it, so they but they love to do that to Black women. They do that to Black men too, like just demonize. But they do that for Black women if they just talk loud. You ain't gotta elbow nobody under the rim. You just talk loud. They're like, oh my God, she's angry.
Right, exactly.
It's a cheap shot.
Yeah.
It's a cheap shot. Yeah. What's that guy? Emmanuel Ocho, who basically is a kiss ass for the establishment. He was like, you're just, you're a dirty player and you do this and you do that. Like, yeah, if he was a dirty, he would be in the league.
I think LeBron needs to be a little dirty. I think LeBron needs to be more aggressive. Kobe was hell of aggressive to his own teammates, though. He was just a straight up asshole and he did not care. He didn't care about nobody, but that's what made him great.
Great.
So, Michael Jordan, some of his teammates, didn't like him and Scottie Pippen or whatever, but that's what makes you great. Listen, you don't want to be liked. Likable people are boring.
Right.
And look, people don't win rings.
There you go. And like you said, I don't follow NBA like I used to. I used to have time back in the day. I don't have time now. I used to have time for a lot of stuff. But as it pertains to what we do, media.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You think it's important that you have a persona that don't take no mess. It says it plainly, like that's sort of how you roll.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't care what people think because I know what's best for you. Because I know how to. First of all, I do say this though, you're never going to win against the internet. You're not. So, I used to, when I upload videos, especially with the judge and these other videos that do go viral, don't let it be about a celebrity. And it used to be at one point, oh, shut up. She don't know what she's talking about. Why she cut the judge? Oh, honey, they'll be coming at me, but I don't care. Oh, I'm only here for the judge. This is why he's here. Yes. Yeah.
And that's really what it's about, right? They're like, how'd she get Judge Joe Brown? What is she, because they think it's just easy. They always underestimate the effort and work that goes into the talent that's required in order to do what you do. That's all. When we started off, guys, when I started off, I was telling her, hey, I admire the fact y'all been rocking together for 5 years. That says something to me about how you able to keep relationships going.
And it's not easy working with him at times. Like, he's still busy at his age. And, listen, he's a man of a certain caliber. He has a big personality, very nice, very respectful. And he's already an establishment. He's a celebrity. So, of course, I already know the audience, the masses are going to side with him than me. I get it. At the same time, though, going back to training the audience, like, you're still going to respect me. However, I'm not trying to beat the internet because you're never going to win. But you learn to not listen to the noise. I monitor to make sure someone's not typing a comment that's crazy or threatening. But other than that, freedom of speech, freedom of press.
Nothing wrong with being angry, man. People want to see some fire. Show that you care about something. You're going to stand 10 toes down on something.
Right.
Exactly. Wishy-washy. They might as well go watch cable news. I
don't want to be like all the time because that's boring. Like, you know, and it's profitable to be the villain at times. At
times. Shit, I used to remember American Idol with old white boy. I forget his name.
Oh, Simon.
Simon was mean as hell. That's why he was the star of the show.
Exactly.
You can't sing. Don't sing. No.
And his check was higher than everybody else up there.
And Andy was all nice. Oh, nah, dog. That's a no for me, dog. And so was the paycheck. It was a no. Look. Give me the paper. Forget that. I don't want to be nice.
And you need reality checks. Like everybody in society, everybody wants to be coddled, especially this younger generation. Oh my God, they are so sensitive. Because I'm a Gen Xer, so we honey, we have thick skin. So which is why we are innovators and we are creative. The younger generation, they have to be coddled, and that's not good because life is hard.
I'm Gen X too, man, and I feel the same way. Like we able to take the punches, the bruises, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Get back, that's it, man. Get back up. And learn from your lessons, and you know what I'm saying, fall down again, get back up and exceed. So yeah.
Well, look, guys, put in the comment section what y'all think about Dana's opinion on Draymond. She said, "What'd you say, Dana?"
Leave Draymond Green alone.
Leave him alone, punks. You're softies, you snowflakes. Man, look, man up.
Exactly, man up. Because he's a man. Draymond is a man. So leave him alone.
They want everybody to be like Kyrie Irving, to be all, zenned out. Some brothers.
Like, no, that's not, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's Kyrie thing. That's Kyrie thing.
Give you a little flower and shit.
Right. But I think Kyrie, see, you have two opposites, especially dealing with the press, because Kyrie don't like the press either. He know they're full of shit.
Right.
But he zones them out. He doesn't lean in, but but he brings that zen. He may give 2 words or whatever, and and that's it too. But I think if you keep poking in real life, not with the media, he could probably whip some ass. But with Draymond, he's going to show you from the rip, I could whoop ass, and I'm showing you I could whoop ass, so you already know not to come and try and bully me. He's more outspoken. So 2 different personalities, but they're still 2 positive black men.
And you know what? And the media didn't like either one of them. Now that I think about it, because they couldn't control them.
Exactly. And that's what they have in common. They're independent thinkers, independent men. Yeah.
As zenned out, as calm as Kyrie was at the bottom, at the worst time, whatever, he was still calm, composed, and they still had a problem. So look, man, do you, Draymond?
Right.
Dana says, do you? Tim Black says, do you? Do you, man? Don't worry about these people.
Right. I don't think he is, though, because that NBA money is guaranteed.
Yeah, get your paper. All right, let's move on. I got this is a good one. Rodney Hinton Sr., because the room is so split on this. Let's see what Dana thinks about this next topic.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm Rodney Hinton Sr. I want to give a condolence out to the officers that got killed. My whole family. I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family because I know he's hurting off this. As I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen 2 scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there try to kill. No. What I seen was 2 persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being there, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. My Lord and Savior is Jesus Christ, and represent him. So with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything to anybody.
Wow. Okay. Dana, you want to go first with this? Or you want me to go?
You go first, because I think your audience is not going to agree with what I have to say.
I don't care. That's good. That's good. They need to exercise. Look, I think Rodney Hinton. Look, Hinton Senior is he coming from a Christian standpoint, similar to the way Jeff Metcalf came at it. He also came at it from a religious background, and he said, "Hey, I forgive Carmelo." He didn't say his name. He said, "I forgive the man that took the young man that took his life. He was wrong, but Jesus gonna work with this." Jesus, So he did the same thing, and I'm tired of black people doing it only because it gets done so often. Like, can we at least find out, like, did this have to happen? Can we at least find, like, I haven't seen a gun in his hand. I looked at the footage more times than it's probably healthy in order to try to see this damn gun. I didn't see no gun in his hand. So, like, I'm concerned, like, of the representation that this makes for us. And, I'm just tired of older brothers. I'm a grandfather now. And look, man, if you take one of mine, I'm going to have a problem with you. Now, if they caused it, I'm going to still have a problem with you, but I'll understand what happened. But I'm going to want us to see what happens in the justice system. It's like he preempting the justice system, like already trying to basically say that, hey, this was his fault. Nah, man. The cops did what they did. Let them prove their case and let that officer have to show why he was afraid. Because in my life, when I was a young man walking home from school, if there was a dog coming at me, I have a reason to be afraid. But if the dog ran past me, why am I afraid? And that's what happened, I feel, with the young man. The young man was past this officer when he pulled the trigger. So that's my issue with it. So I'm not going to condemn Rodney Hinton Sr., but I'm going to say I disagree. I understand where he's coming from. Maybe he worried about his money, Dana. Maybe he already looking at the civil side. I don't know. But,
Is Trump there?
Yeah, I smell crump. I smell mush mouth somewhere.
So, okay, so this is just senior. We're not talking about junior yet.
Right now, right.
So, first of all, shut up. Why are you doing press conference? That was the same with Carmelo Anthony family, because they're linked up with the grifter, with the Next Generation Action Network. Shut up. Stop talking. You talking before you got even a trial date for this cop. You don't even know what the deal is. Well, all the evidence is not even in. Why are you doing a press conference? Oh, because your son ran over a sheriff like an idiot. I'm sorry. I know yes, he just seen the videotape of his son being murdered, but I'm sorry, he didn't keep his composure. But you still didn't have to do a press conference. You're trying to save face. Why? To calm down white people? To make sure that white people don't start threatening your family? No, you are the head. Stay strong. Like, don't be scared. Just shut up. You didn't have to do that. And that's the problem, because how many times have we seen Black people, I forgive, and I'm not forgiving nothing, because now they're saying that he wasn't a part of any carjacking. He was just wanting to get home. He was asleep. He didn't have the gun. Either way, and I was pulling up on my phone because somebody sent me a little bit of stats on Cincinnati and the police department down there. The police department nationwide always had a problem historically, even to this day, being overly aggressive with Black people. They do the same with Black women, but more so Black boys and Black men. But specifically in Cincinnati, it says precise data on the total number of Black people killed by police in Cincinnati is incomplete, because comprehensive centralized reporting is lacking and numbers vary by source and time frame. However, based on available information, here's what can be piece together. From 1995 to April of 2001, at least 15 Black males were reported killed by Cincinnati police during a confrontation or while in custody, with no white suspects killed in the same time period. Notably, cases include, this is a list of cases. I'm not going to read off the cases. A 2020 source lists additional earlier cases. Okay, that's that person. The Washington Post database 2015 to 2024 tracks fatal police shootings nationwide, but doesn't provide city-specific breakdowns in the provided references. It notes that Black Americans, about 13% of the U.S. population, account for 23 to 27% of police shooting deaths, suggesting disproportionate impact. Mapping police violence and other sources indicate Black individuals are killed at higher rates than other groups, but exact Cincinnati numbers beyond the above are not specific. So a lot of times they try to hide the data or just not do the research to get these numbers. So it says, for a complete count, accessing Cincinnati Police Department records or local investigative reports would be necessary, but these are not fully covered. And then it just goes on to the account. So I said I was going to do a video breaking down this information, this data that I was able to obtain, and just being more specific. But I say all that to say that in that city, it is reported historically throughout the decades that Black men are handled way more aggressively and killed by the police. And that's just one city. And we all know this goes on in other cities. Now, it is true when you do look at the data nationwide that that white people, especially white men, are arrested more because there's more of them, right? They're just as violent as any other criminal. But why is it that police officers are so quick to pull the trigger? With that said, going back to the father, Senior, not the father of Ryan, but Rodney Senior, I'm not going to get up there and ask for world peace. I'm not going to say anything because I may have not a physical violent moment like Rodney Jr., but I'm gonna have a moment to where I may advocate for some violence. A Black Panther spirit, but I just think people just need to shut up when the evidence is not in, and we're never going to get any type of true police brutality, public policies passed when you keep giving them a pass. Look at Memphis with Tyree Nichols in that case. So yeah.
I agree, Dana, and I appreciate you, putting out the data. Yeah, there's no requirement for them to report deaths. It's voluntary. So, like, if you had a sketchy incident that occurred at your police station, if you didn't want nobody to know, you just don't report it. Think of all the things people wouldn't report if they could not report. So that's
that little bit of reporting from 1995 to 2001.
15-0. 15-0. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's problematic as hell. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just the old Negro way, man. I'm just so tired of this, man, where we just feel like we got to capitulate and got to conform to something for safety's purpose. And he's trying to demonstrate this for his kids or his grandkids so they see it. And I just, this image, this Ben Vereen, I don't know, man.
I think they want a check, and it's going to be a civil lawsuit.
But they're not going to get a check because they're nice. They're going to get a check because they're owed a check. It's not going to be because people like you. That's not what law is about. Law is not about feelings. It's about what the facts say. You know what I'm saying? So him being nice and kissing ass, they're going to be like, let's give this Negro $5 million.
Oh, no, but I think that well, they've been getting a whole lot of money, but I think that it makes it easier. It makes it have probably less red tape when they go, when this goes to civil case. But if you, I don't, for me, with something like this, if it was me, I don't care about the money. I want justice. And part of justice is, yes, I want that cop to not only be fired, but be put behind bars. But I want public policies passed. That's the substance, public policies on police brutality. So,
yeah, well, that'll be the day. I want it too. I want to end qualified immunity. I think, I was pushing so hard. And that was why I was rocking with them type progressive people, because there were a couple policies. One of them was ending qualified immunity. I've been covering these black deaths from Eric Garner to Tamir Rice to John Crawford to Breonna Taylor. But before her, there's been sisters that I've been covering since 2014, man. And it was just Tatiana Jefferson killed in her own house watching her nephew playing a video game. And somebody called the police and said, their door looks open. And next thing I know, cops are shooting through her window at her in her own damn house.
And most recent, the black woman in Illinois with the hot water in the pot.
Oh, God, yeah.
And those two, and the cops, they were just having a regular conversation all up until she had the pot. Wasn't going to throw it on him, but she put the pot down, didn't have nothing, and she actually ducked, and he shot and killed her. But the family got a large settlement.
Yeah, but see, she deserved to be here though. You know what I'm saying? And I know you feel that way.
I think that officer, he was arrested. I do believe he was arrested in charges. I don't know. I think I need to
But Dana, all he gonna say is, I was afraid.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say, we don't know the mind state that he was in, because black people is scary.
Going back to that angry black man, and that's what I'm saying. So, but I look at it like this: if you keep taking money, that's hush money. That's money for you to get up there and have these press conferences and say, "Oh, let's all just get along." The famous words, "Let's all just get along," and look how much Rodney King got. So, if you keep taking money and you keep having this "let's all get along" mentality, you're never going to get true justice. There's never going to be any public policy passed, so stop taking the money and fight for justice.
And stop rocking with the Democrats. Stop thinking the Democrats going to get it done for you. I think we need to start pressuring and working with Republicans as much or more, because they're the ones that care about this stuff. They care about the rights. To me, Democrats care about this optics. They care about the sound bite. They care about theatrics.
They care about, and they also care about making more money. Now, and that's why the Republicans don't fight for it, don't mention it, they don't do anything, because they don't need our vote, because we're not part of their party. So that's why you're not going to see the Republicans support anything that Black Americans want, because the majority of Black Americans are on the Democrats. And it's like, okay, the Democrats have not been listening to Black Americans since 1965. Right. I'll up it a 10 extra years, since 1975. They have not been listening to Black Americans. So, but you still keep voting. The Republicans should not and will not do anything, because you're not part of them. They don't need you. Trump needed us, but that's for the presidency. What about state level, city level? Right. They don't need you. Congress, they don't need Black people voting for them in Congress.
I had a Maryland state rep.
If you are needed, then you'll see, you won't see a change. I'm sorry. What you?
No. You're right, man. Hinton Senior. Let's go into the rocky terrain of talking about his son, because that's
Rodney Jr. The one
the one that ran into the cop.
Oh, why they painting him as a hero? Honey, no, he's not. Because listen, if that was at first I thought it was a cop that shot his son. That wasn't even the one that shot your son. Mm-hmm. That was an innocent man directing traffic from a graduation, and you just so happen to pull up in his intersection, and you want to run him over. And then and I get it, you wanted to have a serious face when you were arraigned and all the cops were there trying to intimidate them. It was like, really? But that's one of their own. But you're no hero. I'm not, and I did not donate to their go send give send go, and I'm not going to. For what? For Ryan or for the dad. that was just an idiotic move. Now, unless he says in a what do you call it, passion of crime of passion,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him a little bit of sympathy. I kind of understand why, but that was dumb.
Man, I wish I had the clip. Because it's obvious. I don't think you've seen. Because you'd have a little bit of wiggle room in there if you saw the clip when they took him to the police station. And
When
I
he
didn't see
was in a courtroom, or when they was taking him to the police station.
when they took him to the police station right after they got him out the car, right after the accident, right? So before they booked him, this is not widely released.
Why don't you find the clip? Because it's pre-recorded. Is it hard? Is it this one?
This was it, but they cut out the part. So they were asking him, was he suicidal? They were trying to get information from him. Like, why'd you do this? Were you suicidal? He paused for a very long time. It was a close-up of his face. He looked in shock. He looked like he was not fully aware. He wouldn't answer it. They said, did you expect to survive? And he was like, it was like he didn't know what to say to that question. It was like, I think maybe he thought he was going to die in the accident. I don't know.
Let me see if it
County. Once he arrives in Claremont County, he goes to jail intake, asked medical questions.
You have a serious medical or mental health issue that needs immediate attention? Is that a yes or a no?
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. So should we start from the beginning of the video?
Yeah. This is great. I mean, I'll trim it and have it look nice when we're done, when we're doing it. So yeah, you can play it again if you want.
Okay.
So we can, yeah.
All right. I'll start here.
Since his arrest is back and forth. Hamilton County, Claremont County. Rodney Hinton Jr. is spending considerable time in a jail with 4 wheels. It's a body cam view that begins shortly after Hinton was released from UC Hospital.
Are you able to stand on your own?
Locked up here.
Here, use this hand to hold you. I'm gonna put this hand in a cuff.
He's still in his hospital gown, taken in elevators, down hallways, out the door of a Cincinnati police station, a long walkway to a waiting cruiser, going from Cincinnati police custody to Claremont County. Once he arrives in Claremont County, he goes to jail intake, asked medical questions.
You have a serious medical or mental health issue that needs immediate attention? Is that a yes or a no? Have you recently considered attempted suicide? No. You want to hurt yourself or anybody else? No.
Hinton is accused of using his vehicle to run over and kill Hamilton County Deputy Larry Henderson. That came after Hinton saw police body cam of his son, Ryan Hinton, being shot to death by a Cincinnati officer the day before. Police say the son was armed and stealing a car.
And then swing your legs around. Can you help?
Hinton is being held in the Claremont County Jail to help prevent questions about his safety.
Ready? Take your time.
And until there's a change in his status, he'll stay there or in a cell block that uses a key to start it. Now, initially, Hinton's condition was reported by police as critical, but he was able to walk and move. In this video, we've asked police if he was upgraded quickly, which does happen, or if there was a communication issue somewhere about his condition. We'll let you know when we get that answer.
Yeah, so it gives a slightly different, I think, temperature to what happened. You know what I'm saying? As far as maybe his mental state. I'm not saying he's not responsible for what he did, but it just gave me more background because I didn't know. So I'm also thinking when he was in the court and he was doing the mean mug and stuff, we don't know what them cops did to him. It's possible he's been getting a lot of abuse from cops in the cells. They've been having to handle him. They can't be happy with him. He killed one of theirs. So we have no idea what he's going through and why he may have that posture like he's being defiant. maybe just not trying to show that they're kicking his ass there. It's possible.
It's possible. And I get what you're saying. I'm just saying that first of all, it's unfortunate what happened to his son.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, as much as devastating that was, you can't jump off that cliff. He just jumped off the cliff without parachute. And if you're going to do it, make sure you land on the person that actually did the dirty deed. Because I look at it, it doesn't give me justification just to randomly.
Yeah.
That's like saying, because a white person did something, I'm going to randomly harm just any white person. That doesn't get a sane, and this goes to his mental capacity. A sane person is not going to rationalize that, right? So maybe he went insane at that moment. He just left the police station watching that video. So we don't know what mind state he was in. And maybe that will come out. He's going to have to get evaluated. If he has a good legal team, he will be evaluated. But it's unfortunate though, because the state of Ohio does have the death penalty, and the prosecutors may ask for the death penalty. And maybe that's why his father, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that's why his father did that press conference to say, listen, my heart goes out to, the police officer, everyone, because this was after what his son did. And he's talking to the police officer that shot his grandson and the police officer that his son had mowed down. So let me take back my initial assessment as far as, the father, senior Hinton Sr., because these are Ohio natives. The death penalty came into effect again, was reinstated in 1981, and has since been used in the state of Ohio. And his son mowed down a police officer, a sheriff. So I'm pretty sure the prosecutors is going to ask for the death penalty. And the father got in front of that camera and said what he said to prevent that. Yes, he's going to go to prison, but prevent that, so I take back. I'm siding now with how Dad Senior is handled things, not Junior, but Senior. So yeah, but I don't know. I truly believe Hinton Jr. had a moment of insanity, the mental state. He wasn't a rational person, but that doesn't make it right. If that's somewhat fair to say, I don't know.
I find your your position on this to be understandable. You know what I'm saying? Particularly, let me ask you this though, Dana, what do you think about Luigi Mangione, the white kid who's accused of killing the pharmaceutical executive, the healthcare executive?
Okay, we live in a sick society because two things here. Now, he may be a hero, not just to white people, but to all Americans, because that was the CEO of United Healthcare. And people are fed up with the insurance companies. They're worse than pharmaceutical companies. So, and now that was why he was able to raise, I think, $1 million or $500,000 or 200,000 a GoFundMe. Yes, because women think he looks good, and he raised money. Somebody started a GoFundMe because of that. So he is considered a hero to a certain degree. Nevertheless, you assassinated someone in the middle of Times Square, right? And was it broad daylight or was it at night? Because it was black and white.
It was in the morning, actually.
It was early in the morning. So you should go to prison forever, because that was a straight up assassination. But who hired him? So I mean, he's an idiot again, but somebody hires him to do that, because why else would you do that? The way he did it, I think he was put up to it, but again, he was able to raise millions of dollars. I just said, me personally, I don't donate to people like that, even though I am going to start, this sidebar, I am starting a Give, Send, Go for myself. Okay. So yes, because I'm raising money to go see Beyonce in Paris in June. And we're talking about Shiloh Hendrix later, right? I don't know if you're going to bring that up. So I'll elaborate further once we get into that. But anyway, getting back to this, Luigi, and honey, he needs to go to prison forever. New York doesn't have death penalty, I don't think. But again, and I'm against the death penalty, but yeah, I mean, different. This is different. I okay. So if I want to do a compare and contrast, I understand why Hinton Jr. did it. I understand that, and you know, I understand that. I don't understand why Luigi, if that's how you pronounce this, I don't understand why he did it. So.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, there are people that who think Luigi's a hero, but they don't feel that way about Hinton Jr., even though Hinton Jr.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean,
it's directly, and I don't think it's just anybody. Like, it's not white people, it's cops, which is a certain profession with a certain history, and it directly, excuse me. And there's also, I heard reports that his social media, he made comments like years ago about police brutality, about what cops do to black people. Like, he's been on the record.
If they're going to bring all that up, and it's going to be hard for him to claim insanity, which I think if they do evaluate him, which was good, because when they asked him, do you have any mental things, he stayed quiet, and I think that was the best thing to do.
Right.
Because even if you did, a person who's not mentally stable, they're not going to say, yes, I'm psycho. They don't even, they stay quiet. So they're going to try and prove this man was not insane. He was sane because of, like you said, social media. But I think that's his best defense. And even if he wrote that, I think that could still go to his mental state, because he just watched the video of the full unedited video.
I like to point out, what the hell was people thinking? Like, Dana, I'm in a very large fraternity of people this is what I came to understand, that have lost a child. And I never wanted to be in that group, Dana. Last thing my wife and I wanted, we lost our oldest child. And it's been just a year, over a year.
Really?
Now. Yeah. And it was a drug overdose.
Oh, wow.
And she has 3 children, and now we have 3. You know, my granddaughters are now my daughters. So when we got the phone call to come to her apartment, and she was in the room, there was a dude there because she was with somebody. This is accidental, and he was like, I couldn't. You know, I thought she was fine. We went to sleep. She didn't wake up, and I wanted to wrap my hands around. The cops are sitting there the whole time. He's trying to talk to me, and I'm like, of course, I'm blaming him, because why are you here? And why, so my wife and I, when we had to come home, when we came home after they did everything they had to do, we had each other. Rodney Hinton Jr. was in a car by himself. This is to me, it's crazy. Like, if I'd have been by myself,
he actually did what you didn't do, and because if you did what you wanted to do, you probably would have been in a cop car by yourself, and not home with your wife to console each other. And again, I don't know how that feels to lose a child, and as a parent, and I'm a grandparent too, that's one of our worst fears.
Oh man,
parenting that's the hardest job in the world, and that's one of your worst fears, is to lose a child. And it does seem like a sorority or fraternity of a group of that you are a part of.
75,000 Americans overdosed in 2023. Like,
yeah.
So just in that year alone,
and that doesn't mean that someone was the drug addicts. Regular working people. It doesn't mean that person was a bad person. Because it must have been, it's fentanyl.
They putting that stuff in fentanyl. I mean, they putting that fentanyl in weed.
Yes.
Anything they can to spike it. They like spiking it, whatever.
Yes.
So, but my thing is, I fought those people as well. Like, when he watched the tape, they say he was despondent. You could tell he was shocked. He was, why y'all didn't stay with him? Like, why didn't people ride together? Something. This guy gonna get behind the wheel.
Was somebody okay? So it was different reports, but it was no one in the car. At first, it was saying it was a woman driving, and so apparently he was driving, and nobody was in a car with him. But yeah, I think that if you are showing the parent, of course, family members, but the parent, that video unedited, right? And it should not be edited. There should have, and maybe it goes to lack of empathy for Black families, for Black people, for Black men. It should have been some type of protocol. They shouldn't have drove themselves. It should have been escorted to the police station and back, because you don't know that state. He could have went off at that police station.
He could have ran into a school. He could have ran over kids. He could have anything.
His gun concealed and pulled out the gun and shooting everybody in the police station. So I don't think he was in his right mind. I just wish he never done it.
I agree with you. I wish, of course, man. I cannot. I know there's people that condone it. I don't condone.
No, I don't. And I don't
condone
that. He's not a hero for doing that. And see, people are putting it into a historical context. No, what you need to look at it is a parent lost his son tragically by police and saw the goddamn video.
Right.
So you didn't see your daughter overdose. You didn't see that. I think it would hit different. So you didn't see a video of that happening, but it still hurts. Never, So
of course,
yeah.
Big difference. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate. It's no winners here. It's no winners.
And I want people to realize also that the tape that he saw is not the tape we saw.
Exactly.
He saw them working on his son. He saw the aftermath of it all. It's a lot longer video that Rodney Hinton Jr. was exposed to. And yeah, I think it was just handled poorly, but that's not to excuse what he did. Like, you gotta own up. You did that. That's what you did. You ran over somebody.
Oh, I just think the defense definitely, you gotta play on that. You have to play on. He was not in his right mind. Yeah. So and I don't want him to get the death penalty. No,
right.
No. And I'm sorry if 3 officers could be found not guilty for literally intentionally killing an innocent person, right? Then Case and Allison, you stabbed someone in a high school bathroom 5 times, not once, not the little poke like Carmela, 5 times, and the person died. And he was found guilty, but it's the lesser charge. That's basically a slap on the wrist. Junior should not do no more than 5 years, maybe 10, but because it was the sheriff. But I don't know. It's no winners. It's an unfortunate, sad situation. Tragedy. And senior, I think senior is just trying to clean up a little bit of this mess. I don't know. It's just a tragedy.
Yeah, public opinion. Trying to get the public opinion not to be so hard on him. I'm glad you brought up about the death penalty, Dana. Thank you for the data.
When I mentioned that, it made me think like, okay, now I see why the father did that, because Ohio has it, it's active, and they've used it since it was reintroduced and reenacted in 1981. So this is a sheriff, innocent, and the aggressor was Black. I'm sorry, I'm throwing race into it. So yeah.
Oh, that's fine. We see color. I don't know these people.
Right.
They want like that's a part of life. Race is a part of life.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Ryan. Okay, and what do you think about Ryan? I'll go first. I'll just say, I want to see the gun, man. I want to see them superimpose this video. Show me the gun in his hand that you keep telling me about, because in Ohio, people carry guns all over the place. It's an open carry. You don't even need a permit in Ohio. You just had a God-given right to walk down the street, brandishing a firearm. So seeing somebody with a gun should not freak a cop out in Ohio. Not in Ohio. In D.C., yeah, you get mandatory charge for that in D.C. So I think that until that time, people can say what they want in my comments, but I'm in Baltimore. I saw actual footage of cops planting guns, cops planting drugs, because their body cameras, unbeknownst to them, start recording up to a minute before they hit the button. So it's really weird how they work. And these cops didn't know they were being filmed planting evidence. So I seen it happen here locally in Baltimore, not far from me, about 45 minutes from where I am. So these people that don't think this exists, that cops plant stuff, yeah, they do. Particularly when their whole life is on the line.
Right.
Particularly younger cops, only one cop fired. There were 5 cops there. One cop fired 4 times.
Right.
And I think it was unnecessary. What do you think, Dana?
It was, because cops need to be, they're not trained properly. They're not. And it really starts from that, because now on the radio I heard that it said, armed suspect is a gun, reportedly gun. So you don't know if he had it on him or if they found it in the car because he did not have it on him, but you seen him run between the dumpsters. You had to see him run before he ran into the dumpsters. So I think you had to have seen that he did not have a gun. He didn't point nothing at you. So say if he did not have a gun but pointed something on his arm, that's different. He didn't do that. He was just running the other way. So instead of you running your fat ass after him to stop him, like you should, right? You got to be physically fit.
Right.
You shoot to stop him. So you didn't shoot to kill because he had a gun and he was trying to kill you or harm you. You shot to stop him. Again, being overly excessive. Going back to that data, that I read, even though it was a small portion of it, but I could just imagine after 2001, how many more other Black men were shot and killed by Cincinnati police since then. You didn't have to shoot him, period. Run after him. And if you ran and he still got away, y'all know you're going to find him later on, because I think it was 3 of them. One ran and was caught. The other one got away, but they caught his ass a couple hours later. So again, if he runs and you can't catch him, you can catch him later. You don't have to fire off your weapon, clearly seeing he did not have one. So that's, I look at it like this. I don't want Ryan's tragic death to be overshadowed by his father's actions, because that cop still needs to be held accountable. He needs to be fired. He needs to be booked up on charges. So, I think that is focusing on Junior and not on Ryan.
I agree. Yeah, and we got people that I don't know what school of thought they come from, man, who just feel like anything the cops say, they just believe it. They believe it because they want to. That's how they roll. You know what I'm saying? They think everybody, but they don't believe mainstream media though. Media lies, but not cops.
Right. When they write up those reports, they word things, even if it's not a flat out lie, they word it differently to make it fit the
narrative.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's like you said, there were options. They could have used those options. They sent the canines in and got the 2 of those guys that got away. 2 of the young men who got away.
They did. Yeah. So why couldn't you do that for why did you shoot him?
Very well.
Because the other guys, when they got caught, everyone knew, okay, it's guns in the car or they may be armed. But the other ones wasn't shot at. So why did you shoot him?
And that's another thing. We talking about a car. That's it. Like these kids did not just finish robbing a bank or breaking into a daycare center and stealing kids, kidnapping kids. They didn't just, do an Oklahoma City bombing. All they did was be in a car. And some people are telling me now, I haven't confirmed it, that the car was a repo. It's supposed to be repossessed. Okay,
yeah, but who was it? Was it repo from him?
I don't know if it was from him, but it was somebody in that car. It's supposed to be repossessed.
But again, it was a car repossessed that none of them own.
Okay, that's the case.
So I don't. That's what I'm saying. Is that the case? Did any one of those 3 own the car that was being repo, or did they just steal a repo car off a truck, or that was about to be repo?
Interesting. You know what? I think they're saying it was one of theirs, like that they were behind on payments and the car was supposed to be repossessed. Now I don't know if that's true or not. Someone said a month. I don't think that's even true.
So then who called in that the car was stolen? Was it the owner? You know, because even if your car, it must have been in the process of being repoed. Because even if it's they have to bring a truck, but they put that jack on your car first, and then they lift it up on there. So if it's supposed to be repoed, it was a repo car. How did he steal it? Because it should have been a jack on the car. That whole thing sounds funny. Either way, they said it was guns, that they were armed with guns, and they did find a gun in the car.
Right. And an extra clip in the car as well.
Right. Okay. But that cop, he was in close range to see this is a suspect. He's running, but he doesn't have a gun. But you still shoot and kill him. I don't understand that.
I think we need to pay cops way more money, and we need to hire better cops, and we need to fire lame, scared ass, punk ass cops that are scared of their shadow. Because for some reason, when they see melanin, they get scared. Oh my God. Everybody stop freaking out.
What are those tests that you give people to see if they're biased or something? They need to take one of those tests as well.
It's one of them that's online. I took it before, because believe it or not, black people had the same biases as white people. We all grew up under the same conditions.
No, and that's good. And it's like, so when you have these tests, particularly with police officers, whether you're white or black, then it's like, okay, this is what we need to work on. This is what we need to improve. But that's not happening. So,
oh man, it's the same old song, different day.
Too much reaction and not enough prevention.
Horrible, man. Rest in peace, young man. 18 years old, life gone.
Yeah. And listen, kids do stupid stuff. They do stupid shit. But that was too excessive. Tragedy.
Guys, let us know what you think. I think we both agree that it was, Dana and I both feel that it was excessive. 4 shots in the back or the rear, whatever that was at.
Now, when me and the judge talk about things, people get upset with the judge. And I just want to say this because he's not talking from his personal opinion or his emotion or his feelings. He's speaking from the law. And a lot of people don't like that. But he knows the law, the due process of the law. Okay, he's going to be charged. He may get the death penalty tops. The prosecutor's going to ask for it because of blah, 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 blah. And people listen to that and they get upset with him sometimes because he's not showing empathy. You don't want your legal profession person to have empathy like that. You want them to be very logic. You don't want them to be biased. You don't want them to be racist. You don't, because if you have empathy, that's still bias to a certain degree, which is why we see a lot of white people, especially white women, get lesser charged or not charged at all because we have empathy for them. You want someone who is logical. And that's how the judge presented. So I just wanted people do get upset with him, but he's speaking from a very legal, logical perspective about the facts of how the legal system works.
Yeah, I could see that. I heard you on the live stream, and I was like, damn, judge ain't playing. But if somebody got to prove something, like the defense got to do their damn job, man. Because relying on,
people don't understand the self-defense laws, and the guy Tyler Chase down in Virginia with the TikTok prank, and listen, and then that's what the boy's saying. Well, we were playing the TikTok prank, pushing people TikTok doorbells and then running. It was a prank. Yeah. And then I'm hearing that they were doing more than just that, but
3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you caught that when you did. Gosh, I forgot where we were at, but I think we did say enough about that though, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I think we did. Rest in peace, Ryan. Oh, you were just saying how, just so you know, she was saying about Judge O'Brien that Judge Joe coming from a legal standpoint.
And people ask him legal questions and get mad at him when he answer it.
Yeah, he's like a doctor, man. Doctors and lawyers, judges, the epitome of that. Like, you go to the doctor, hey, am I overweight? You fat, you obese.
I think because they want him
you morbidly obese. You're gonna die if you don't lose weight. He ain't supposed to be like, well, look, guy. eat a couple Snickers. Now, you want your doctor to tell you stop smoking, fool.
Right.
He ain't supposed to
well,
be
you
all
ask him a
smooth with it.
question but he asked a question legally, the legal procedure.
Right.
But they want him to be like, well, it's wrong. You're black. Like, he ain't on that black power. It's the law. It's the law. It's the law.
Okay.
So
yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Next. Let's go to Shiloh, man, because this Lord have mercy. I want to see what Dana has to say about this.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
So I got this off the stage. Who the hell is this? So we did Draymond. Let me get this out of here. We did Hinton. I don't know if we're going to get to Brooklyn, but we're going to get to Shiloh next.
Karen calls an autistic black kid 5 the N-word at a playground.
You call him a child?
This Karen calls an autistic black kid 5 the N-word at a playground.
You call him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him a Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. Nobody dig into your shit.
A little kid just did.
That little kid, you call him a the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
That's a hate speech, and you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
The fact checker identified her as Shiloh Hendricks, 36, from Rochester, Minnesota, who is unemployed after.
Wow. So here we go, man. This is it. Dana, what are you thinking about Shiloh? I know you've got an opinion about this.
I mean, I'm not gonna listen. She said what she said. You don't go to prison. You don't get arrested. You don't get charged for calling someone a name. That's freedom of speech. So you could call someone the N-word and you can't have charges pressed against you. However, let's get to the money. Because she raised $500,000.
700,000.
And I'm like, why my dumb ass did not start my Give, Send, Go for Beyonce? So, honey, I'm launching it. It is dropping Sunday on Mother's Day, and I'm gonna be promoting when I do my X Space. Yes, honey, I'm starting my Give, Send, Go. Send me to Paris on Juneteenth. Give me to Paris to see Beyonce. I need that airfare, honey. So I'm starting mine, and this is capitalism. This is America. Now, the people that donated, I had a woman on my X Space this past Tuesday. Well, it was the judge X Space, and she was a South African woman, racist. She said yes, I'm a bigot, and I just want to explain to you guys why we donated to Shiloh, because all you people donated to Carmelo Anthony, and look what he did. So it's basically a throw it back in your face, which is why majority of, probably some black people, but which is why majority of white people donated to Shiloh, and she got up to $500,000 because people are upset that Carmelo Anthony was able to raise, I think, 200? No, 400. So they wanted to outdo Carmelo Anthony, and they did, and they outdid it with her. And I think Shiloh was at 600. Now it's a black woman, honey. She started a campaign. She reached out and wrote Give, Send, Go, a letter, and I heard they froze Shiloh Hendricks' account. Honey, she should have withdrew that quick, but I don't got a problem with it. I don't.
Wow. Well, when we say a problem with it, let's see. Yeah, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Why should I be upset?
How can I say this? What she did was some scumbag shit. I think it's horrible what she did, of course. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with adults calling kids names is trifling.
No, okay. Where was the kid's mom or dad?
Well, it's a part.
Because what would have made the news? What would have made the news is me putting my black foot up her white ass. Then I would have been in handcuffs. So she wouldn't have raised nothing. But the thing, so that would have been a headline. But where was that? Where's that headline?
Yeah.
That's the headline I want to see.
Yeah, no one was watching the child at all. You're right. That's a good point. Where was anybody? But that don't excuse her. But I would have liked to see somebody be like, yo, that's my niece, or I'm babysitting, that's my little sister, something like, or son, I'm sorry, or that's my little nephew, or whatever. There's nobody, no supervision whatsoever. But I'll say this, man. Also, Dana, people are saying maybe this is all a setup.
Right. Because you say there's no supervision. No, somebody was there with him because he was what, 5? He ain't gonna be in no park by himself, and he's supposed to be artistic. Now, did you see the picture for a kissing a black man? That's like an old picture or something. So they're saying that they were in on it. Whatever the case is, she raised over $500,000 because she upped it. Remember, she was only asking for $100K to protect her family.
Yeah.
She upped it to 1 million, or was it to 1 million? And she got like, I think 600K, but then it took a black woman to step in, honey, and put a pause on that.
Yeah, man.
I'm focused on my give, sing, go.
Yeah, man.
Because I'm like, why didn't I think of this 30 days ago? And then I really could have, and this is before the Shiloh thing happened, right? So, and then when the Shiloh thing happened, I probably would have got a whole bunch of donations, just media, using the media. So, but I'm using the media now. I'm starting my give, sing, go.
You serious about this going to see Beyonce, huh?
I did it. Well, I'm going to see Beyonce the end of May at MetLife.
Wow.
But I also bought a ticket for Paris.
Hey, why not try it? Look, give it a shot.
I started a GoFundMe when it was me and Number 9. I used to have this podcast called Magados. This was like back in 2016 because MAGA and then ADOS was, making headlines. So he was MAGA, I was ADOS, and we started a podcast, started Magados. And we started a GoFundMe to raise money. So, because we were renting out studios and stuff like that.
Wow, okay.
I think we raised, and we were able to get up like a little over 1,000, but that was less than a week, or less than 2 weeks, something like that. So I've done it before, so I'm gonna do it again.
Hey,
that's the grift, honey. It's a grift. It's about capitalism.
Yeah, and people got money. You'd be surprised how much people got money to throw away. Everybody not struggling out here. Some people got paper and they want to give it to a cause. They'll give it to a cause.
Okay.
They be up at all hours of the night, drunk, high, whatever, and they see your ad and be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah. So when we get in trouble, say if we say, or if I say, black people should go around calling white people names and filming it, and then have a give, sing, go, and raise money because we're in the middle of a race war, according to Jasmine Crockett. So black people that's like, I'm tired of this. Okay, yeah, she cussing out somebody white. Let me donate. See, it's a business.
But you gotta have some adversity though. Like that's the thing you missing though. So for your Beyonce trip, if somebody's stopping you from going to see Beyonce, you gotta be like, we gotta fight against this. That's why I need this money because I need to go see her.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
You gotta have a villain, So for Shiloh, it's black people. Black people.
Okay, well, who's gonna be my villain? Like
white people. White cops.
Now listen, don't do this with the Jewish person, honey, because they will sue you in state and federal.
There you go. Jewish, not Jews. Jewish.
Yeah, Jewish. They will sue you state, federal, and your local municipality. So yeah, but everybody else is fair game. But yeah, honey, that's the new thing now. The fundraisers.
I saw King Randall. He works with kids, and he did a video.
Oh, I interviewed him in the beginning. Yeah, when he said that. Yes. I thought that was so clever. But I love what he's doing. I actually got a chance to interview him. This was back in 2016, in the beginning of him, and to see where he's at. I love what he's doing. So yeah.
It was that before Roland tried to stab him in the back.
That's before. It was before that. That's before anybody knew his name. Wow. And I saw him on Twitter, and I was like, let me reach out to him. And I would like to reach out to him again, but he's big time now. But no,
he'll still rock with you probably. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, but that's the new thing. So, Vivek, I said running for governor of Ohio. And I signed up to his emails and stuff. Honey, I get a text every day, at least 3 times out the day. Hey guys, donate $1, donate $5. No, it's called fundraising, so I think people need to get in on that.
Well, you a Vivek fan or something?
I'm thinking about voting for him. Now I don't see, it's still early and they have not pushed any, whether it's a Democrat or any Republicans that's running against him yet. Right. So he's the main one out there, but I'm following him because he's interesting. That's why I had signed up the emails to see what he's talking about. And I do want to interview him as well. So hopefully I could get that.
Makes sense.
But I what I did was you put your number if you want to receive text, and I put yes. Every day I get a text from Vivek, the campaign. Donate. But you gotta raise money. That's where it's at. That's the new business.
It's what's funny about it is we got everybody was clowning Vivek and clowning Byron Donalds because they weren't included in the cabinet, but they had bigger plans.
Yeah, and that's major to be governor.
Ain't that something? They both had bigger plans. And I kept hearing Democrats going, see, Trump just used them. Yeah, Trump positioned them so they could go be governors of major states.
Yeah. If you can't be used, you're useless. Use me.
What is yeah.
Use me. So he put them in position to get those donors, to have a following, to get that spotlight. So to be blessed with that Trump endorsement, 9 times out of 10 means you're going to win.
Yeah, especially in Florida. Byron's, I think, the only person he's going against because, what's his name?
DeSantis' wife.
Yeah, he termed out, so his wife is running.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
it's
that's
like
just to throw some. And I think because they need someone to run against him.
Yeah.
So
Byron's going to become governor.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like Vivek is still early, but I think he's going to become governor here, so.
Yeah, Trump's got a lot of juice, man. I mean, that's a perfect storm, I think. Perfect storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, forget Shiloh, man. Like you said, man, we can't police language, but so much. We don't control if she can get a job. Like, people want to cancel. What are you going to do? She don't work for black people?
She don't work for nobody. She's $500,000 richer. Now, the black woman put a pause to it. And I would have cashed out after the 7th day. I would have cashed out, but maybe she did take something, was able to take. But either way, what do you want to do? You want to be mad because she said that? Where are the parents? Where are the family? None of the parents didn't even do a press conference. Why not?
That's something. This smells weird. This smells rotten, yo. This definitely smells like a setup.
It's weird, yeah. A black mother.
Nobody's over there raising money like against her. No, there's no black family. Like what's? Yeah.
Now I don't know if the little boy parents are tethers or black immigrants. I don't. But even so,
maybe they're illegal. Maybe they're here illegally. Could be. Could be somebody from another. They could be.
But do you know what? If you are, I would ask, where is the GoFundMe for the black boy? Because whether you were illegal or not, I would have started that. You probably would have got $1 million so far for the black boy. And then if you get deported, you still going back home without that money. But I think it is a grift. I think it is a scam because where is the black boy family, parents, GoFundMe? You don't see none of that.
None of it. Man. I did have one more thing slated set up, but I don't know, man. If I got seen for this, the black woman sculpture. And you seen that in Manhattan, in Times Square?
Mammy. Yes, I saw Mammy. Was it 12 feet or 20 feet? I saw the 20-foot Mammy.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
And communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding. And basically,
I don't care about this guy. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he is.
Thomas Price.
Oh, you know the guy. Okay. Thomas Price.
He's from British, bringing his British ass over here in America, putting an ugly statue up. She's not even attractive, and it's not even a weight. I don't think she's fat. She's plus size, and that's fine. The hair look a hot mess. She's not a Black American woman because we like to be fly. If you want to put us on display, Black women want to be fly. She's not fly.
Yes.
Boob sagging. I heard she don't have a bra, a regular t-shirt, some regular jeans, and what? And them ugly looking braids? No.
Man, you know what? I didn't even look at it that hard. No bra, hair ain't done, edges ain't snatched. What's going on, man? They gonna let a sister represent?
You know, it's a gold bronze statue in Italy, in a square in some city in Italy as well. Supposed to be a Black girl, and she's looking at the sculpture. She's looking on her cell phone.
Huh?
You ain't see that?
I haven't seen that.
Let me pull it up because I do have it.
Man, I know. I guess it's supposed to represent pride. This whole thing. I don't know, man. You know, it's a bunch of old men. It's a bunch of old white guys in Times Square statues. So this is supposed to even it out, or maybe this will, you know, they want to represent. I guess that's what they're going for. Like, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I'm not clapping for it, but I don't have a problem with it. You know.
But here's the thing, though. Why they keep giving us statues? Too much symbolism. George, first of all, I'm tired of that George Floyd, honey. That was the major insult. But too much symbolism. I want the tangibles. Where's the public policies? Where's the check? Where's that restitution check? I don't want to see a ugly, mammy looking statue in Times Square. Now, this is in Rome, not Rome, well, Italy. The Piazza something. And she looked Black.
Yeah.
And she on her cell phone. Like, I don't give a fuck. Look how she's standing.
Right.
Yeah.
Attitude. Okay.
So, you know, and then apparently these statues of Black women, they're going to be in London and LA. So it's like, you know, international. But I don't like the way she's positioned. Even this one and the one in New York, I don't like the way she's positioned. Why is she needs to have on heels? She should have a book or something, but on your cell phone, like, let me see how many likes I got today. No.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be the common everyday woman, just going about life. And
that's the problem. You're going to display. So when you look at the statues, whether it's in Italy, the sculptures, or anywhere else, those are people who are posing intentionally and they have their heads up. You know what I'm saying? It's with prestige. This is, I'm on my cell phone, see how many likes. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
And then the other one in New York, I think you could share that one again. The one in New York is just like, I got an attitude because she got both hands on her hip.
Encourage empathy.
Right.
Yeah, both hands on the hip. Like what? What you gonna do? Letitia James.
Look like Latifah back in the day. Or Latifah. I don't know, man. Yeah, if I don't know, man. If people makes them feel empowered, I don't know. Maybe some women, young girls like it. Maybe I don't know, man. You know, I got daughters now. I got 3 girls. If they like this, maybe they do. I don't know. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't hurt anything.
How old are your 3 girls?
3, 6, and 13.
You should show them a picture and ask them, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And you're probably gonna be floored with their reaction. They're gonna be like, oh, what? They're probably gonna be like, well, what is it? They're gonna be like, oh, I don't know. They're not gonna be excited. So I think you should ask them. I would ask them. You know what? I'm gonna ask them. I have 4 grandkids, ages 6 to 11. They're 2 years apart. I'm gonna show it to them, and I'm gonna ask them, what do you think of this?
You know what? I will do that.
Yeah.
Because like I don't have a strong enough opinion to dump on it. I mean, I could if we want to get theatrical, you know what I'm saying? But I just don't. I'm not that angry at it, but I'm not like happy for it. It's like, it's like a Democrat thing, like you said, like it's just theatrics,
And then the people, Times Square, everyone from all over the world visit Times Square. Yeah. There's going to be people taking pictures in front of, making fun of it, laughing. I think not because they admire it. I think let's take a picture in front of the big Black woman. I don't like that. So representation matter. And
Right.
Black American women, when you put us on display, you got to
Mm.
make us fly. We're going to be fly.
Good point.
No matter
That's
how
why
much
you
money
here,
we got in the
Dana.
bank.
We need Dana here. Dana could correct that shit because I'm all lackadaisical. Nah, you right. Who do I want representing brothers? Yeah.
That too, yeah. Why couldn't it be a black boy? You a black man sculpture artist. Why even make it a young black boy? You know, black boys, they're the future. When you look at that sculpture in Senegal of the black family, why you have a black family? That's something that's lacking, marriage, family. So he missed the ball.
Okay,
he's taking orders from the DNC.
The DNC. Now, modern times, let's take modern times. Anybody can go back and go Harriet Tubman, and Sojourner Truth or whatever. Nowadays, if you wanted somebody to epitomize Black womanhood, is there somebody who comes to mind for you, like currently, that you'd be like, okay, this is a good representation, a sculpture of this person, I'd have felt differently. Who would that person be?
Me.
Well, that's healthy. That's a healthy way to look at it.
Okay, but seriously, but dead or alive, it don't matter.
I would say alive. I'm just wondering, like,
I heard somebody say Felicia Rashad, her, but I'm trying to think of someone who's not an entertainer. Melanie Hobbs. If you look her up, she is a financer, and she's married to George Lucas.
What?
Her. Is it Hobbs? Melanie.
You're right, Melanie Hobbs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Her.
George Lucas married to that white guy?
Yeah.
What?
Wealth. Okay. That's wealth, yes. She's already wealthy, but that's wealth and power. She has some power, but now she's the epitome of power. But her, because she comes from very humble beginnings. And she specifically went into finance because she said she grew up seeing her mother trying to pay bills, management or lack management of money. And, and she wanted to be a representation for Black America, especially when it comes to money. So, even as a woman, but her, I think she would have been perfect. You talk about Times Square, wow. Everything goes through Times Square, like, Wall Street, number one market. So money or whatever. So her.
Huh. Interesting. I know they've been together for a long time. I've seen this picture with
she's not an entertainer, she's not an athlete. No, she's representing something that Black America needs, and that's money. Wealth.
Yeah. I can't knock that. Mm-hmm. Melody Hobson.
It's Melody. Sorry, I thought it was Melody Hobson.
Melody, but two L's. She spells it different too. Two L's. Go ahead now, Melody. Now I didn't know her name. I recognize her, but I didn't know her name. That's interesting, man. And beautiful name
Hobson.
Too.
I'm sorry, I said Hobbs. Yes, Melody Hobson. Yes. Melanie Hobson Lucas. Mrs. Lucas.
What about Ketanji Brown Jackson?
Boy, bye. We were doing so well.
Yeah. No, I don't like her. I think I'm still mad about the lawsuit.
Know what a woman is.
That black lawsuit. Yeah, she don't know what a woman is, and she went against a black lawsuit. They were trying to sue. It was a major corporation, a black class action lawsuit, and she struck it down. I was like, no one brought that up when she was running, when she was getting confirmed. This is about black people. Nobody asked.
Because they didn't read the resume. They didn't do the background. You got to do background checks. They didn't. They just saw a black woman. So. And she says she don't know what a woman is. And and so here you going back to she's not dumb. Yeah. Yes, she's a justice on the highest court, but I think her IQ is not that high.
But you know what? If she knew, if she was going to say that, the Democrats would have sandbagged her. She would not be on the Supreme Court justice. So she playing the damn game. I hate it.
She was on Broadway, and as a Supreme Court justice, you're not supposed to do none of that. But the Broadway show was about transgender, so that's right up her alley.
She looked like a goofy up there. She looked goofy to me.
The judge always when he imitates her, he calls her scratch. What is it? Scratching head. Don't know what a woman is, but he does that the Kentucky scratching head. That's what he imitates, because she was scratching her head like, oh, I don't know what a woman is. Yeah.
The birthing person is what they call it.
I mean, and listen, even if they would have put her there, she's a justice, but her ideologies, no, but out Melody Hobson.
A businesswoman.
Yeah, and I do apologize for not getting the name right. So.
No, that's perfect for Times Square too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's better. Don't get me wrong, I like Felicia Rashad. They should not have roasted her because she gotta give people advice. Don't be out here advertising everything for these lames.
But she was right.
She was right. They don't want to hear that though, because they want to. It's that cool to have to have class.
But now you have someone who's covered up, but she look a hot mess.
Who's covered up as a hot mess?
No, the statue.
Oh. Yeah, no. I agree with you. I'm glad. Look, Dana, I want to thank you for coming through and doing what you do. This has been a great conversation. You're amazing.
I ain't talked too much, did I?
No, you didn't. You talked. This is perfect, man.
Okay.
We back and forth and rocked it, and now you're gonna go see Beyonce because you're gonna raise all this money. These people gonna act right, and they also gonna go subscribe to you. What's the name of your channel, Dana?
The Real Dana on YouTube, and you can also follow me on X at The Real Dana #7. But yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Real Dana, and catch me every Monday live. Me and Judge Joe Brown. I go live by myself on Wednesdays and Friday, and then of course the upload. So subscribe and hit the bell button so you can get all the notifications.
There it is. What time you go live? I don't want to go
Monday at 9 p.m. Easterns on Monday.
And how long you go?
We go for like 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Okay, so. Yeah. So yeah, now because you said 9 to 10, so you there till like 11:30. So that's what that is. Got you. Well, I'm on Sundays, and we overlap, but not all the time because I'm also.
I've seen you go live on Mondays, but you go live late.
Yeah, I go like 10:30, 11. I go like 10:30.
Because I'm like, why Tim going live this damn late? That's what I be saying sometimes myself.
You know what? Because my audience originally was on the West Coast. A lot of my people were West Coast. So yeah, that's what it was. And
that makes sense.
I got all these damn people in this house. I need everybody to be shut the hell up.
Oh, that's what. Yes, honey, you got three girls.
And I got 2 boys. Well, my oldest son is here right now, but my youngest son is 16.
Oh, okay.
So he plays music and do what he do. So
they keep you on your toes.
Man, always.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
But thank you for having me. This was fun. I really appreciate it. We got to do this more often. And I respect and, admire all of your hard work and what you do as well. So thank you so much for having me on your platform.
Thank you as well. Thank you, guys. Go see Dana, The Real Dana. Go see her on YouTube and find her on X. Yes. Real Dana #777. Lucky 7, y'all. Yes. Thank you, Dana. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
Much love. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.